Hello and welcome back to that model and part 2 of our Foetid Bloat-drone. So on the first episode what we did was we got the skin tones down, and then today what we like to do is we'll carry on with the skin bits. Oh, here we go again, and we're going to just paint in the boils and pustules and nasty wobbly and oval bits, and then we'll get on to the pipe work, this bit, and hopefully we'll start to get some green down on these armour panels. So for the pustules and boils and oval wobbly bits and that, what I've done is I've used a mix of 50-50 of Flashkits yellow and Nurgling green and thinned it down slightly. What we want to do is we want to start getting in and just glazing, basically. I'll call that armour, wouldn't it? Just do the top. When we get down to the where it meets the skin, we want to leave it so it has that purpley bruised effect. And it's just a simple matter of finding every little dot and spot and boil and oval bit and just glazing onto that. It's a bit tedious and time consuming sitting here watching me doing this, but there's not actually that many. It's just a case of picking them all out, basically just doing the tops of them. Let me just put my visor of many seeings down, my old man eyes. Right then. I reckon, oh, there's a little one there. And the secret of doing this, a good thing about it, is using a wet palette. Even if we miss one and find it later on, we've still got the correct paint. Just tiny one there. And one there. Right, there's a lot down here. Right, so I'll pause this a minute. You don't want to sit here watching me painting little green dots. And then I'll see you in a second. Time machine. Time machine it, right. A nice little thing to do as well is a tiny drop of yellow. In my case it's your Flashkits yellow. On your palette, water it down, and what you want to do is you want to take some of the moisture away. So literally touch the brush to a paper towel, and what that will do is that will soak up a lot of the moisture and leave a lot of pigment. And then some of the larger ones, just on the very top, just give it a highlight of the yellow, and that'll really make them pop out. So do that all the way around, some of the bigger ones. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start on these bands that run around. We're going to paint them with gold, and these vent things we'll paint with silver. So let's get in with the gold nice and gently. And brush in your paint, and then pull back and twist So you're going to point on your bristles. And then all we're going to do is very gently get in there and start filling in all these metal straps, whatever they are. Now don't go right to the skin, just leave a tiny line of the black, and that'll give you a really nice defined line between the skin and the metal. Just be careful around the knobbly bits and wobbly bits and bits, because there's plenty of them. Well, Nurgle has been extremely generous with his gifts of pestilence and plague and all things pink and wobbly. And alright, so you get the idea. So what I'll do now is I'll pause this again. You don't want to sit here and watch me painting gold lines. Alright, and I'll see you in a second. Time machine. Time machine. Right, that's all the gold bits done, the silver trim on this bit. Now, the way I like to work these sort of miniatures is there's two schools of thought. One is you do the biggest area. So if it's a space marine, you paint it in its base colours. If it's an ultramarine, you paint it blue, all of it, and then work down from that. The way I like to do it with these things is imagine it as cake in layers. So the lowest layer on this miniature was the skin. Then it was all the trim. Then it's the armour, and then it's all the pipe work. So starting at the lowest layer, I only have to neaten up one way. You see what I mean? If I'd have got anything on the white bit for the arms, it wouldn't matter, because we're touching up as we go. So you only have to worry about touching up one way downwards. You see what I mean? So I always like to start with something like this at the lowest level and then work my way up in like layers of plastic. See? You only have to neaten up one way then. If I'd have gone in and done the armour and then afterwards painted either side of it, it would have been a case of, oh, I'll have to touch that up a bit now, and then I'll have to change colour and do that again. It's just easier. I find it easier doing it this way. So the next thing we want to do now is put the base coat down, the base colour down on the armour. And this is just straightforward Death Guard green. Thinned a little bit on my wet palette. And literally, I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to block in the colour. And then later on we're going to use a wash and then edge highlight the centre of the panels a little bit. So just basically all you're going to do now is just block in the colour, the base colour on the armour panels. Same as anything, just do a panel at a time. It's so well defined, this is lovely. Just, as Ted would say, it's a base coat, just slap it on. Not obviously not too thick, but just get the base coat down. This is going to get extremely boring again, watching me just blocking in Death Guard green. So what I'll do is I'll pause it again. We'll use our time machine method. So for you, it's a nanosecond. For me, it's as long as it takes. So I'll see you in a second, in a minute. It's time machine. Time machine. Right then, so that's the green armour panels all blocked in. Now some of the pipe work has in the past had some sort of plastic cover or shroud or some protection on it, and a lot of it's ripped. So what I've done is I've undercoated that in grey, so I can add another colour to that. Most of these pipes I'm going to leave black, or I'm going to paint with lead belcher. So but a couple of them on the inside we've got a smooth pipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint them red and do them whatever colour you want. Now, be as neat as you can, but don't panic, because it's just a straight black pipe over the top of that. And what we can do later on is, when that's had time to dry, if you do go over the top, just neaten up some black and just neaten up when the red's dry, because it's the next level above it. It's not a problem. So let's get in with some silvers. And then what are we going to do? Which one should we do? Let's do this one here. And that. And all the ribbed pipe on the inside. We'll just silver up. And then we'll do the same with this unit here. We'll paint all this silver. And it's just a case of working your way around, thinking, oh, I'll do that one, I'll do that, oh, that'll look nice, that colour. It's entirely up to you then. Whatever you want to do, it's your model, it's your kit, it's your army. Paint it however you want. Let's get in there. Let's do silvers and golds on these metal parts. And then what we'll do after that, the last stage we'll do today, is once we've done this pipe work, once I've done that, I'll do that off camera, then we'll come back, and what we'll do is we'll give the whole thing, the whole armour, a wash of Agrax Earthshade. Now you could use a green wash like Crawley green shade, but I want mine to look quite dirty and scuzzy, and it's Nurgle, it's plaguey, it's dirty and scuzzy and horrible. So I'm going to use some Agrax Earthshade in a minute. Give that a coat. So I'll get on with these pipes, and I'll see you in a second, in a minute. It's a time machine. It's a time machine. Right, so that's him. All the pipes done. The base coat down on the armour. So all we're going to do now, well, stuck them on the base so I'll make him easy now. All we're going to do now is we're going to get in there with our shade brush and Agrax Earthshade. Now we don't want to get it on the skin, but we want to be quite liberal. So we'll be working, turn it upside down so that it runs the other way, and don't do too many panels at once. Remember what I said about it drying. Just quite literally get in there, get the shade in. Just trying to avoid getting it, or too much of it on there. You're going to get a little tiny bit, it's inevitable. You're going to get some, but it won't really show too badly. And then what I'll do, I'll carry on, and using the same techniques, I'll paint the other bits. And then in our next episode, we'll stick most of it together, and we'll do some edge highlighting and little tiny bits. We'll do some touch up and find the bits that we'd missed. I guarantee when we do it, when we think it's done, it won't be. Will I missed a spot of a boil or a wart or a bit of cable or something like that? Guarantee you'll have missed something, and you never see it until it's on camera. You say, "Oh, I missed that bit. What an idiot!" Right then. So that's basically all we're going to do. I'm going to give it a bit of a wash and then leave it to dry. So we'll call that one done for now, and I will see you in episode 3 when we start doing the edge highlighting and the tidying up. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.